Assalamualaikum dear students, I am TOOBA ISHTIAQ from Multan Public School and College. A very warm welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm your computer teacher with topic of types of files. Here are the contents of the today's lecture. Types of files, usage point of view, functional point of view, and storage point of view. Before going in the deep discussion of the types of the file, I want to tell you that first, before going in the deep discussion, you must know about the type of files. You must know about the file. What is actual file? Why we need the file, and what is the purpose of the file? A computer file is a computer resource for recording the data discretely in a computer storage, or a file is a collection of related information that is recorded on the secondary storage such as magnetic disk, magnetic tape, and optical disk. And a file is a sequence of bits and bytes, lines or records whose meaning is defined by the file's creator and user. Actually, here is the type of file in usage point of view. Files are classified into three categories in usage point of view. According to the usage point of view: master file, transaction files, and backup file. What is master file? Master file is the latest updated file and that never become empty. Master file is permanent file, and when information is changed in the record, it is updated in the master file. And now, what is transaction file? A transaction file, data is kept in it for processing, can be empty if needed, and temporary files, it's not the permanent file, and data is retained in it till the master file is updated. My dear students, backup files, you people must know about the backup files. Backup file is a data file, also a data file, but that used for in emergency or in case of any accident. We always having a backup file. A backup file is the copy of the master file, and permanent file, backup file, is used for data protections created by the software utilities and stored on external storage device. External storage device like USB, CD, and those devices are external out of the computer. And now the file types in functional point of view. In this point of view, files are given proper identifiers, and each name has two parts. Two parts means the file name and file extension. Dear students, like when we stored a file in the documents, means Microsoft Word, we always see that a file, after a file name, we are having a 3 letters extension name before after the dot, like first dot doc. DOC stands for documentation. Documents means this file shows that this file is related to a document. File name, first of all we need the file name and then file extension. Files are classified into two categories regarding functional point of view. Number one is program file, and then data file. What is program file? These files contains the software instructions, and structure files, objects files, and executable files are program files. For example, max.c or 1.java means this is the example of the program files. Max dot C means this file is related to language C, and 1.java means this file is related to language Java. The data file, these files contains the data used by the program files, and these files are created by the extensions like .dat, .doc, .xls. .doc, the documents file. .xls means the Excel files, and mp3 the music files. This is the types of file in functional point of view. A file structure, the file structure should be according to a required format that operating system can understand. A file has a certain defined structure according to its type. Like a text file is a sequence of characters organized into lines. A source file is a sequence of procedures and functions. An object file is a sequence of bytes organized into blocks that are understandable by the machine. My dear students, when operating system defines the different file structures, it also contains the code to support these file structures. Unix, MS-DOS support the minimum number of the file structure. File types refers to the ability of the operating system to distinguish the different types of files, such as text files, source files, and the binary files. Many operating systems support many types of files. Operating systems like MS-DOS and Unix have the different types of files. File types in storage point of view. Files are classified into three categories regarding storage point of view. One is sequential, and the second one is random access or direct access, index or sequential file. File access mechanism is a file access mechanism refers to the manner in which the record of a file may be accessed. There are several ways to access the files, like sequential access, direct or random access, index sequential access. Sequential file. Sequential access is that in which the records are accessed in some sequence. For example, the information in the file is processed in order one record after the other. This access method is the most primitive one. Example, compilers usually access the files in this way. These files store the data as it retrieved one after another in the sequence. My dear students, these files take time to store the data. The data stored in these files are accessed sequentially. If you want to go the last record in a sequential file, you will have to read all the preceding records before reach. Sequential file, the best reason for using the sequential file is their degree of the portability to other programs. The file organization is very efficient when large number of records are accessed sequentially, and the drawback of the sequential file is it takes too much time to access the record if the file size is large, because we have to follow the procedure of the sequence one by one, 1 2 3 4 and so on. If we want to access on the 21 record, then we must follow before the reaching the 21st record. we have to find before 1, 2, 3 and till 20, record number 20 and then 21. We uh, will reach at 21 record after 20 records, finding the 20 records. Now the random or direct file. Direct or random access file organization provides the accessing the records directly. Each record has its own address on the file with by the help of which it can be directly accessed for reading or writing. The records needs not be in any sequence within the file, and they need not be in adjacent locations on the storage medium. Record in the type of file is stored on the calculated address. Each record is accessed directly, and every record is stored in a particular location and has a unique address. Data is accessed using these addresses. In random files, data is stored exactly as it appears in the memory, thus saving the processing time. This organization is suitable for the storing data on the disk. Drawbacks of random or direct files. Random access files can be wasteful of disk space because space is allocated for the longest possible field in every record. For example, 100-byte comment field force every record to use an extra 100 bytes of disk space, even if only 1 in 1000 actually use it. Here is an example. In a database of 2300 alumni, a program can go straight to record a number 11,663 or 22,709 without reading any of the other record. This capability makes it the only reasonable choice for large files and probably the better choice for small ones, and especially those with the relatively consistent record lengths. Index sequential file. In index sequential access, this mechanism is built up on base of the sequential access. An index is created for each file which contains the pointers to various blocks. An index is the search sequentially, and its pointer is usually is used to access the file directly. My dear students, index sequential file, the data in this type of file can be accessed sequentially as well as randomly based on a key value, direct or sequentially. And in index sequential file, each record is stored along with its location. For this reason, index is created to store the location of each record. Usually the index is created in a new file called the index file, and the index file is updated when a record is added or deleted. Index sequential file, its processing is same as the random files. The drawback is that more space is required in it as pair index is stored to locate the files. This is the end of your today's lecture. Stay strong, stay positive, stay healthy, stay home. Allah Hafiz.